Hello everyone, my lovely hello to everyone, my 10th kids, my champions. How are you? I hope you all are doing great work in your studies and you are doing rock in your life. So welcome to the rapid session of some application of trigonometry. My dear lovely student, this is my humble request to everyone. Kindly watch the video because this will be rapid revision and I'm going to give you a very clear and short revision of application of trigonometry. So whatever your doubts and your difficulty you are still having, all the difficulty and doubts will be washed away. So please watch the video. So let's begin without wasting a moment. So as usual, I'm requesting you, my request first, kindly subscribe the channel Deeksha Vedantu, and because we are serving education for last 27 years and we are putting 100% effort for your betterment, for your result and for your success. So we are providing complete education to you all. Your involvement and your interaction encourages us, motivates us to do something wonderful for you all. So my dear lovely kids, do share with your friends and kindly subscribe the channel as well. So application of trigonometry is very important because look at the screen here. This question has been asked in the year CBSE 2023 and the set number is also given to you. So CBSE boards is frequently asking every year a 5-marker question from application of trigonometry. So this chapter is very important for you. So in short, I'll be giving you the complete theoretical and complete concept of this chapter. So watch the video till the end. So look at here on the screen. Below trigonometric values plays an important role. So my dear lovely kids, to solve the questions of application of trigonometry, you have to remember these values, these three functions. I'm not giving other cosec, secant, cot, but these three functions, tan function, cos and sine. And in all these three, this one is very important, tan. So make sure, kindly remember these values, tan 30 degree, tan 45 degree and tan 60 degree, because in most of the not in most question, I'll say in every question. Yeah, I would like to say every question. In every question of trigonometry, you will be finding that tan is coming, because tan is the relationship of perpendicular and a base. So my dear lovely kids, please remember these trigonometric values. Kindly write down in copy, write down on any piece of paper, and please remember these values. So in all these three, this one, the tan function is very important. Okay, this is very important, my dear lovely kids. Please remember it. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, tan 45 degrees 1 and tan 60 degrees root 3. Okay, now move to the next slide. So now angle of elevation and angle of so by mistake angles is here, angle of elevation and angle of depression. These two terms are very important because in most of the question you'll be finding these two terms. Okay, angle of elevation, what does it mean by angle of elevation and angle of depression? I am going to give you a very clear example, a very simple example of these two terms, how you can understand this. Okay, so look at here. So for the clear visualization of angle of elevation and angle of depression, let's have an example here. Let's say there is a tower, there is a building, okay, and a boy is sitting here in a park. There is a park, here is a park, and this is a building. Now this boy is looking at the top of the building. This boy is looking at the top of the building. This boy is looking at the top of the building. Okay, so if this boy is looking at the top of the building, so this line is called line of sight, my dear student. Line of sight. Please keep it in mind, line of sight. So the angle which is below to the line of sight and which is making by the ground, with the ground, this is ground, this is earth, and this is straight tower, this is building here. This is a tower. This is line of sight because this boy is looking at the top of the tower. So this angle is called, this angle, whatever is the angle, it might be 0 degree, 30 degree, it can be anything. Okay, so this angle is called angle of elevation, my dear kids. Angle of elevation. Please keep it in mind, angle of elevation. And let's say, for an example, one more, a person is here standing on the top of the tower. This is a boy and this is another person, someone is standing on the top of the tower. And now this person is looking this boy here who is sitting in the park. This person is looking at the boy this way. This is looking at the boy here. So this will be the line of sight. This will be the line of sight. Line of sight. In simply we can say eyesight, line of sight. This is the line of sight of this person towards the boy. This arrow indicates the line of sight of this boy towards the top of the tower, and this arrow indicating the line of sight of this person towards the boy. Now I am drawing a line here which is exactly parallel to the ground. This is ground, this is the earth, and this is the line of sight. So the angle between the line which is parallel to the ground and the line of sight of the person, so this angle is called angle of depression. Angle of depression. This depression is not that depression, the psychological condition of human being. So this depression is the angle of depression basically. So look at the angle of depression. If this is line of sight of the person, so the angle of depression is above to the line of sight, and angle of elevation is below to the line of sight. So the general definition, the basic definition of both the terms are, if I talk about the definition, what will be the definition of angle of elevation? So you can go through a very simple definition, like the angle which is below to the line of sight is called angle of elevation, and the angle which is above to the line of sight. If the line of sight is here and one line is here, so this will be angle of depression. So the angle of depression always be above to the line of sight, and the angle of elevation will always be below to the line of sight. Please keep it in mind. Don't get confused, my dear kids. So this will be angle of elevation and this will be angle of depression. Hope it is clear to all. One more example I'm giving you. Let's say, my dear lovely kids, let's say there is a tower, there is a building. Okay, this is a building here and this is another building. As you can see here, both the buildings are having different heights. It is having, let's say, you can see the height of this building B is higher than this height. Okay, so if a person is standing here on the top of the tower A and another person is standing on the top of the tower of B. Now this person, I'm calling this person X and let this person be Y. Okay, now this person X is looking at Y this way. This X is looking at Y. So the line of sight will be this. If the line of sight will be this, so this will be angle of elevation. You can draw this line. So no theory is required. You can directly draw this line. So this will be angle of elevation. I'm calling angle of elevation theta. Now one more condition is here. If this Y will start looking to X, now this Y is looking to X. Now this Y, this is looking to X this way, right? And I'm drawing a line which is exactly parallel to the ground here. So this angle will be angle of depression. I'm calling this angle of depression as phi. Hope it is clear to everyone. So if this is line of sight of this X to Y, this is the line of sight of X to Y. So the angle which is below to the line of sight is angle of depression. And if this arrow is indicating the line of sight of Y towards X, so the angle above to the line of sight is called angle of depression. Hope it is clear to everyone. So in single situation, there can be angle of elevation and angle of depression both. Somewhere angle of depression only be there. Somewhere you will finding that angle of elevation is only there. And in some question, angle of elevation and angle of depression both will be there. Are you getting my point? So my dear kids, please be ready for that. Kindly identify the angle of elevation and angle of depression. What exactly the position? Okay. Now, let's do this question. So before doing this question, please make sure that you have already you have learned, we have memorized the value of tan theta, tan angle, and you know the difference between angle of elevation and angle of depression, these two terms. Now I'm going to give you some basic concept, basic tricks how you can solve the application of trigonometry equation easily. So my dear kids, what you have to do, once you will at any question, just read the question very calmly. Read the question first. Don't be in hurry. Yeah, I can do. No need to do this. Just keep your patience. Just be very patient and read the question carefully first. Just give a bit respect to the question. And try to understand what exactly the question is saying. Once you understand the language of the question, you will be able to draw the diagram. Because in application of trigonometry, the diagram plays important role. If you are not able to draw the diagram of the question of application of trigonometry as per the information will be provided in the question, if you are not able to draw the diagram, you cannot do the question of application of trigonometry. So make sure you have to draw the diagram neat and clean first. Once you will be able to draw the diagram after reading the question carefully, means it implies that you have already solved the 80% and 50% part of the question. Because the challenging thing for the student I found is that the students are not able to draw the diagram exactly as per the information of the question. And the student who can understand, who used to read the question carefully and with complete focus, and the student who able to draw the diagram of the question can easily solve the question, because the rest of the thing will be mathematical calculation, applying trigonometry and doing the mathematical calculation, addition, subtraction and multiplication will be there. Okay, so this is the example. I'm giving this question for you, an example for your practice. So look at the question. We'll be solving together. So the angle of depression, look, I'm not reading the next point what exactly the question is saying here. I have just read this sentence here, from here to here, and now I understood there is angle of depression. Angle of depression is here. Just reading from here to here. Okay, so angle of depression of a car standing on the ground from the top of a 75-meter high tower is 30 degree. The distance of the car from the base of tower in meter. So what we need to do, we have to find the distance of the car from the base of the tower. And so there is a tower, so let's draw the tower first. So let's say there is a tower. I don't know what is okay, so height of the tower is given here, 75 meter. So my dear lovely student, this is a tower, and the height of the tower is already given to you. Okay, now there is a car. This is the ground, earth. Okay, and there is a car. There is a car. The car is moving towards the building, let's say. Okay, there is a car. And here, the angle of depression of a car from the top. This is the top and this is the car. Now my question from you all, where will be the angle of depression? The angle of depression will be below to line of sight or above to line of sight. So you all know the angle of depression is always above to line of sight. So if this is the line of sight, because driver might be looking to the top of the tower, or someone is standing on the top of a tower and he or she is observing the car here. So if this is the line of sight and I need to draw a line which is exactly parallel to the ground, so this will be the angle of depression, my dear lovely kids. And what is the angle of depression here? This is 30 degree. So if this line is exactly perpendicular to this, so it has to be 30 degree. It will be 30 degree again, because this line is exactly perpendicular to the earth. So by alternate interior angle, this it has to be 30 degree as well. Now mark the triangle. So this is the triangle here. So what I have done here, as per the information of the question, I have just drawn the diagram, right? And I need to search the right angle triangle. Where is the right angle triangle? So this is the right angle triangle, because the tower, any building and any tower is always straight, perpendicular, vertically, right? So if this is straight and on joining this point, from this point we are getting a right angle triangle. So what are the basic points to solve the question of application of trigonometry? What you need to keep in mind: first, read the question carefully. Second trick is draw the diagram. Third is search the right angle triangle. Where is the right angle triangle? And once you'll get the right angle triangle, name the right angle triangle. PQR, ABC, RS, whatever you want to take, you can take. Right, so I'm taking here ABC right angle triangle. Now the question is asking the distance of the car from the base of the tower. We need to find the distance of this car from the base of the tower. I don't know, so I am letting it as x. I'm supposing the distance is x meter exactly, because one dimension is already in meter. The first unit which is given in the question is in meter, so it has to be in meter. So now you have to move, you have to apply trigonometric function as per the angle, from the angle, by considering the angle. So for this 30 degree, the information which is given is perpendicular. For this 30 degree, this is perpendicular, and for this 30 degree, this is base, because 30 degree is on this side. So perpendicular and base, in which trigonometric function the relationship of perpendicular and base comes up, right? So this is tan angle, so I'm taking here tan 30. So tan 30 degree will be perpendicular AB by base BC. So AB is what? AB, tan 30 degree, we know root 3, 1 by root 3. And AB is given here, which is height of the tower 75, and BC we have to find, and I'm letting it at x. So x will be 75 under root 3. On cross multiplying, this is the answer. So the distance of the car from the base of the tower is 75 root 3. Now next question is, the shadow of a tower standing on a level plane is found to be 50 meter longer when sun's elevation is 30 degree than when it is 60 degree. See, this question is very easy, but the important part of this question is, student are getting the question, are the student able to get the language of the question or not? You have to understand the language, you have to understand what exactly the question is saying, the language of the question. If you are able to understand the language of the question and then you can draw the diagram, then means 60% of the question you have already solved, right? So application of trigonometry demands, are you able to draw the diagram of the question or not? If you are able to draw the diagram of the question, means 60-70% of the solution you have already done. Yeah, this is the beauty of application of trigonometry, my lovely kids. So let's draw the diagram, how we can draw the diagram of this situation. So the shadow of a tower. I got an information, one information, what I got here, the shadow of a tower. Means there is a tower and there will be a shadow. Yes, so if there is a tower and there is a shadow, so shadow always form on the earth surface, right? So I'm drawing here tower, right, and the shadow will be on the ground. Yes, shadow will be on the ground here. This is the tower. Now the question is saying two angle of elevations are there. Just draw the diagram, and whatever the other situation, whatever the other information are given here, we will execute all those things. Just focus on an angle of elevation here. So there are two angle of elevations. So I'm marking here 2 points on the ground, one here and one here. And the question is saying angle of elevation. Angle of elevation. So angle of elevation, you know angle of elevation? The angle of elevation always form below to the line of sight. So now my question is, just let me know, just tell me, my dear kids, in these two angles, one angle is here, other angle is here. In these two angles, which angle will be greater and which will be a smaller one? So as you can see, by using your concept, by using your this is very easy question. I think if I ask you what exactly this angle in 30 degree and 60 degree in these two positions, which will be 30 and 60. So this is very just mental concept, this based on mental concept, because as you will be approaching towards the building, the angle will be increasing, the angle will become greater, and as you will go away from the building, the angle will be smaller. So in these two angles, 60 and 30, it has to be 60 degree greater angle, and it will be 30 degree. Now what question is saying here? Look, when the angle of elevation is 30 degree, the shadow becomes 50 meter longer. So whatever the shadow length was when the angle of elevation was 60 degree, then when the angle of elevation become 30 degree, the length of shadow is becoming 50 meter longer. Means if the previous shadow was x, so what will be the new shadow? 50 meter longer, means we have to add the 50 here, x plus 50. Now what we have to do? Kindly search the right angle triangle. Where is the right angle triangle? So for 30 degree, the first right angle triangle will be this. So I'm calling this right angle triangle ABC, because this is tower here. Okay, this is tower, so 90 degree will be here. So for 60 degree, what will be right angle triangle AB, and I'm marking this point as D, ABD. And what we have to find here? What the question is asking? The question is asking to find the height of the tower. I don't know. So let h meter, right? So I need to mark here h, right, my dear kids? So you have two right angle triangles, right? So apply trigonometric ratio in both the right angle triangles. So height perpendicular has to be found, because we will, whatever we will implement here, we have to keep in consideration angle, because we will have to do everything according to the position of the angle. So for this 60 degree, this will be base, and for this 60 degree, this will be the height. So base and height, base and perpendicular, the relationship of base and perpendicular is in tan theta. So I'm solving here in triangle. So to make the solution more impressive, we can mention here right angle triangle, so that the solution will be more impressive. So in right angle triangle, in right angled triangle ABD, I am taking smaller one, in which angle 60 degree are there. So in right angle triangle, on taking 10 60, why I am taking, you might be thinking, my dear kids, why sir, why you are taking 60 degree? Because my dear kids, for this 60 degree, these two informations are there, height and base, perpendicular and base. I don't mean from this hypotenuse. No need to mean to take hypotenuse, because the involvement of hypotenuse is not there. So we have to focus on perpendicular and base. That's why I'm taking 1060 degrees here. So 1060 will be, for this 60, this is perpendicular AB, and this is base BD. So 1060, we can write the value of 1060 is √3, and AB is h, and we don't know BD. BD is basically x, right? So we can write x over there. So on cross multiplying, what we are getting, h equals to x √3. This is first, call it first. Similarly, in right angled triangle, which triangle? In which 30 degrees is there. Don't take this triangle. Somewhere student get confused. This triangle is just baseless, meaningless, because this is not right angle triangle. I agree 30 degrees there in that triangle as well, but this triangle is not right angle triangle. So make sure always take right angle triangle. So for this 30 degree, this will be the right angle triangle, bigger one, ABC, right? So in right angle triangle ABC, again, what we need to do? What we have to take? Which trigonometric function? Tan. So tan 30 will be perpendicular is AB, and the base is complete BC. So tan 30 degree, we know the value of tan 30 degree is 1 by √3. So I'm writing here 1 by √3, right, my dear kids, and AB is h, and BC will be this complete, x plus 50. X plus 50. Now cross multiply. So h √3 will be equals to x plus 50, cross multiplying, right? So here h will be x plus 50 divided by √3, and I'm calling it equation number 2. So you have h equals to x √3 here in first, and you have h equals to this function in second. So if this is all equals to h, and this is also equals to h, so we can equate. On equating from first and second, x √3 will be equals to x plus 50 divided by √3. Now cross multiply. So √3 into √3 will be 3. So 3x equals to x plus 50. We can shift x here this side. So this will be 2x equals to 50. So x is equals to 25. And if x is equals to 25, now we can put x is here, because we have to find the height of the tower. So now, so h equals to x root 3, and we have already calculated the value of x, so h is equals to 25 root 3 is the answer. So it is the height of the tower in this question. Hope you have understood. If you are still having any kind of issue, any kind of problem, difficulty here, please write your difficulty in comment section and just let us know what kind of problems you are still facing in application of trigonometry, because I am trying my best. Okay, so practice questions I am giving you here. The angle of depression of a car standing on the ground from the top of a 75-meter high tower is 30 degree. The distance of the car from the base of... See, when you will be reading the question first time, the question, you might be feeling that the question is a bit challenging or tough. Yeah, you might be thinking like the question is challenging. But my trick, what I always suggest to my student, please read the question step wise. See how I proceed the solution in application. Just let me tell you. So here, the angle of depression of a car. So but I just came to know the angle of depression is here. Means the angle will be above to the line of sight, whatever. And of a car cannot fly, so car will be on the ground, on the earth. Right? Okay, standing on the ground from the top of a 75-meter high tower. So there is a tower, there is a building of height 75 meter, whose angle is equals to what? 30 degree. The distance of the car from the base of the tower. Same question we have already discussed. So what will be the tower here? This will be the tower, 75 meter. The car is here. Okay, and the angle of depression means the angle of depression will be here, 30 degree. So if this is 30 degree, it has to be 30 degree alternate angle. So we have already solved this question. Okay, no issues. Again solve this. So this we have to find the distance between car and the tower. So I'm letting it x. So for this angle, this is perpendicular, and for this angle, this is base. Make sure whatever we will execute, we will implement whatever the trigonometric function will be taken according to the angle of right angle triangle. The angle will decide which trigonometric function should be taken over there. Right? So for this angle, this is perpendicular, this is base. So I need to take 30 degree 10. So 10 30 degree will be perpendicular, which is 75, and base, which is x. 10 30 is always 1 by root 3 divided by 75 by x. On doing cross multiplication, 75 root 3 meter. This is the distance between car and the base of the tower. Next question. Two poles are 25 meter and 50 meter high. There are two poles. 25 meter and 15 meter high, and the line joining their tops making an angle 45 degree. Just read the question step wise and implement the information in the diagram. So there are two poles. One is of height 25 meter and other is of height 15 meter. Means one is higher than, one is smaller and one is higher. So let's draw the diagram. So let's draw two poles here. One pole is here and the other pole is here, and this is the earth, means ground. Both the poles are not in air. Both the poles have to be standing on the ground. So this is of 15 meter, my dear lovely kids. This is of 15 meter, and this tower is having height equals to 25 meter. Okay. Now look what the next information is here. The line joining their tops makes an angle 45 degree. So their tops means their tops are here, one top, another. And if I join these both the tops, which angle is forming 45 degree? Means I need to draw one more parallel line to the ground, so that then only we can draw angle here. So this is 45 degree. So this is angle of elevation, because we are joining this line and the angle below to the lines of sight or whatever the angle of elevation. With the horizontal, very good. With the horizontal means this is horizontal we have already drawn. What we have to find here, the distance between these poles. Means what is the distance between these two poles? So let the distance between two poles is x. I'm letting it x. So if you are letting it x, so it has to be x, because both are parallel. So this side, this length also be x here. So how we can find this? Okay, so now we have drawn the diagram. The first step is clear. The first step we have followed, right? Now what the next step is? Please search the right angle triangle. Where is the right angle triangle? And make sure, please keep it in mind, the right angle triangle will be there where the angle is, right? The angle, the triangle in which the angle is present, that will be your right angle triangle. And make sure this 45 degrees here. So if this 45 degree we can see here, this we can see here, this is the triangle, and completely this is a pole, so this will be 90 degree. So you have already searched the right angle triangle. This will be the right angle triangle. Please name it. So I am naming it A, B and C. I am naming it as well D and E. Okay, so what we have to find here, x. So now just look at here, my dear kids. In this small right angle triangle, if luckily, if applying any rule in any, by doing any kind of experiment, if we can get the value of this AB, one angle is already given 45 degree, and luckily if I can get this AB, so the calculation of x will be easier, because to find any unknown value, one value should be known. If you want to calculate perpendicular, so base would be there. If you are calculating base, so perpendicular will be there. So if any one information will be there, then only you can find the other one, unknown information, right? So how we can find AB? So look, AB is equals to, will be equals to AE minus CD, AE minus, first write BE, AB minus AE minus BE. Please look at the diagram, what I am writing here. AB will be AE, complete AE minus BE. Now we can also modify this equation as AE, and here BE is A. So BE will be equal to CD, because both the lines are parallel. So BE will be equals to CD. So we can again modify by CD. Now AE is the height of this bigger pole, so which is equals to 25, minus CD is the height of smaller pole, so this is 15. So we are getting AB here is 10 meter. Hope you have understood, my dear kids. So AB is clear. Now AB, this AB is of the height 10 meter. So according to this angle 45 degree, this is perpendicular, and according to this angle, this is base. Considering angle, whatever we will apply, we'll apply everything considering the angle. The angle will order us what we need to do, which trigonometric function should we take. The angle will decide only. So for this angle, this is perpendicular, this is base. So what should we do here? We should take tan theta. So I am taking tan 45 degree. Tan 45 will be perpendicular. For this 45, this is perpendicular, this is base, which will be AB, and the base is BC, my dear lovely kids. Okay, so tan 45 is equals to 1, and AB, what is AB? AB, this is 10, and BC, what is BC? BC, we have to find, I am taking x here, so cross multiply, so x will be 10 meter answer. Is there any option? So this will be the answer, 10 meter. Hope you have understood. So this is the beauty of application of trigonometry, my lovely kids. Yeah, so the concept, what you, so let's do another question, one more question. A peacock sitting on the top of a tree of height 10 meter observes a snake moving on the ground. If the snake is 10√3 meter away from the base of the tree, then angle of depression of the snake make from the eye of the peacock. The question seems very tough, very challenging, but if I tell you honestly, this question is very easy. You just need to draw the diagram according to the information of the question. If you are able to draw the diagram, the rest of the things are very easy, right? So read the question again. A peacock sitting on the top of a tree, right? So let's say I am drawing the situation. A tree is here. Oh, my drawing is too good. A tree is here, and there is a snake. There is a snake. Let me use the color of red color I'm using here. So here is a snake. Draw the diagram neat and clean. Cleanliness matters in application of trigonometry, my dear kids. Okay, I will show you the sheet of toppers, how topper write the solution, how topper respond the question. So you'll get so many of beautiful things from that. Okay, so there is a snake of red color. Okay, a peacock sitting on the top. Oh, sorry, yaar, I'm what I did. Why I drew snake here? Okay, so let's draw the situation here first. A peacock sitting on the top of a tree. Okay, so a tree is here. Okay, let's draw a tree. Wow, my drawing is too good. Wow, this is the earth. Okay, so a peacock. Let me draw a peacock using another color of pen. Okay, so here is a peacock. Peacock is here of red color. Okay, a tree of height 10 meters. So the height of the tree is, my dear lovely students, this is tree of height 10 meter. Okay, 10 meter. Observes a snake moving on the ground. Okay, so there is a snake. If the snake is 10√3 meter away from the base of the tower, so here is a snake, and this snake is moving towards the base of the tower, and here the snake is at the distance 10√3 meter here. So this distance is basically 10√3 meter from the base of the tower. Then angle of depression, look, the angle of depression is here, my dear kids. So the angle of depression will be the peacock. This peacock is looking at this snake here. So the angle of depression will be in air. Here angle of depression will be. So we have to find this angle of depression, theta. The angle of depression is unknown, right? So the height of the tower is 10 meter. And this is given. So if this is theta, angle of depression, so indirectly this angle will also be theta, because this line and this ground is parallel. So if you are taking angle of depression theta here, so what will be this angle? Again, this angle will be same because using alternate angle. So this angle is theta, so it has to be theta. Okay, so we got a right angle triangle. The tree is making a right angle triangle. Okay, so according to this theta, considering this theta here, this will be the perpendicular and this will be base, because theta is on this. So for this theta, this will be perpendicular, this will be base. So which trigonometric function we should take? Tan theta, because we are getting the relationship between perpendicular and base. So on taking tan theta, perpendicular. What is perpendicular is here? Perpendicular. You can name this triangle here A, B, C. Okay. So tan theta perpendicular is AB. By naming the triangle, you'll be able to add one more line, and which will be making the solution very clear, okay, and impressive. So please search the triangle and name the triangle, my dear lovely students. Right. So the perpendicular by base, which is BC. Okay. So I don't know theta. We have to find the value of theta. AB is what? AB is 10 meter here. 10. By BC is 10√3, my dear lovely students. So we can cancel 10 by 10. So tan theta is 1/√3. Now my question is, at which angle tan gives ratio 1/√3? Which angle? Right. So 30 degree. So tan theta 1 by root 3 can be replaced by 30 degree. So RHS, LHS both are equal, and here is 10, here is also 10, so theta is to be equal to, theta has to be equals to 30 degree. Okay, 30 degrees angle. So what is the angle of depression making by snake to the peacock and peacock to snake, which is equals to 30 degree. Hope you have understood, my dear lovely students. So what are the essence you got from this video to solve the question of application of trigonometry? See, trick. I'm giving you final trick. So what you have to remembering while solving the application of trigonometry, my dear lovely kids, tricks. First point, read the question carefully. Read the question carefully. Read the question carefully. Second point, what you have understood? What you understood? Draw the diagram. Draw the diagram. Draw the diagram as per the information. As per the information. Draw the diagram as per the information. Right. Third thing, search out the right angle triangle. The right angled triangle. Search out the right angled triangle. Fourth, name the right angle triangle. Name the right angle triangle. A right angled triangle. By following these tricks, by keeping these points in mind, you can easily proceed the question of application of trigonometry. These points, I used to follow these points, and these points helps me a lot to do the questions from application of trigonometry, Hope this video will be helpful for you all. So my dear lovely kids, in last, my heartily request to you all, please subscribe the channel, follow us, and do share this video with your friends and with your classmates, and keep watching us. Thank you so much.